Good morning. Happy St. Patrick's Day. It is Monday, March the 17th. We're here to do looking at new releases that are published this week. And on Mondays, we look at cozy mysteries. It is St. Patrick's Day. It's my favorite holiday of the year. Not that I party, I just love everything Irish. So, hope you had a good weekend. Good morning, Elena. How are you doing? I will watch your show this morning. I will see you this weekend on Saturday afternoon. Oh, good. I will look forward to seeing you, and I'll be here today, Wednesday, and Friday morning. Awesome. Well, it sounds like you're having a good week. Hi, Mary. Happy Monday, and more importantly, happy St. Patrick's Day. May the luck of the Irish be with you all day, week, and year. Indeed. And Kim said, good morning. And Mary said, hi, Kim. We are here to look at the new releases for this week in Cozy Mysteries. Murder Strikes a Chord by Heather Weidner, first in the Pearly Girls mysteries. When Cassidy Jameson inherited her late grandmother's event planning business, she also inherited her grandmother's friends, four 60-year-old women known around town as the Pearly Girls, as part-time employees. Now Cassidy barely has time to breathe between spending every waking hour trying to keep her business afloat and the Pearly Girls out of trouble and focused on event planning. So when she lands a 3-weekend event complete with a chart-topping band, she's thrilled, until she and her Chihuahua mix Elvis find the body of the Weatherman's lead singer in her venue's koi pond. With the help of the not-so-helpful Pearly Girls, Cassidy must stave off the bad publicity, navigate the prying questions of the local police department, and solve the murder before the media frenzy shutters her business for good and takes one of the Pearly Girls with it. You can tell this has been written by a very young person because somebody in their 60s does not act like somebody in their 80s or 90s. Just saying. A new murder she wrote, Snowy with a Chance of Murder by Jessica Fletcher and Barbara Early. 60th in the series. Good for them. Jessica Fletcher has taken a nasty spill on the ice, leaving her in a wheelchair for several weeks. She tries to work on her latest manuscript, but finds herself distracted by a new neighbor moving in across the street. There's good reason for her to be distracted because soon after unpacking his sparse belongings, Mr. Reimer is out in the front yard building somewhat risque read naked snow sculptures. They're usually not dressed. Anyway, while Cabot Cove debates whether the sculptures are a protected form of art or a public display of lewdness, someone starts destroying them at night. Reimer doesn't seem upset. He just makes new ones. No need to get the police involved over a little snow, he says, especially when there's plenty more of it and a blizzard in the forecast. The morning after the storm, Jessica looks out the window to see a new sculpture across the street and the body of Mr. Reimer half buried in the snow. Can Jessica catch a cold-blooded killer from her chair by the window? Well, in book form, she's done it apparently 59 times before. Odds are ever in her favor. Not to mention all the episodes. These days, people in the 80s don't act like the ones and just say, yeah. Kim loved Murder, She Wrote, especially when set in Cabot Cove. The Coral Conspiracy by Rosalie Spielman, 24th in the Aloha Lagoon Mysteries. When graduate Nellie O'Hare was looking forward to studying the picturesque coral reefs of Aloha Lagoon, Hawaii, expecting her new job to be full of sun, surf, and satisfying work, what she wasn't expecting was a pair of arguing professors, an attraction to the resort's hot golf pro, and a totally dysfunctional academic study ending in murder. When one of her new bosses is found dead, not only is her ocean study in jeopardy, but the local police are also suddenly asking questions that Nellie doesn't have answers to. Luckily, her best friend Kiki Hepburn is no stranger to murder investigations, and along with Auntie Akame and the loudmouth Polly the Parrot, she vows to help Nellie find the true killer. From the professor's mousy assistant to the suspicious man and his weird crabs in the next office to the impressive ex-wife with a new boyfriend and pampered pooch, there are no shortage of suspects who might have wanted the victim dead, especially when Nellie discovers that someone seems to have been sabotaging the study findings. The Library Game by Gigi Pandian, fourth in the Secret Staircase Mysteries. Tempest Raj couldn't be happier that the family business Secret Staircase Construction is finally getting the recognition it deserves. Known for enchanting architectural features like sliding bookshelves and secret passageways, the company is now taking on a dream project, transforming a home into a public library that celebrates history's greatest fictional detectives. The work is far from done. Grey House Library's new owner is eager to host a murder mystery dinner and literary-themed escape room. But when a rehearsal ends with an actor murdered and the body vanishes, Tempest is witness to a seemingly impossible crime. Fueled by her grandfather's Scottish and Indian meals, Tempest and the rest of the crew must figure out who is making the beloved classic mystery plots come to life in a deadly game. End of row one. Which reminds me, Kim, did we get new prompts for April yet? I know it's a little early, but we did the second one. Just checking. The Inn at Holiday Bay, Kidnapped in the Kitchen by Kathy Daly, book number 33. A kidnapping, a shooting, a baby on the way, and 3 lives in the balance. After suffering a personal tragedy, Abby Sullivan buys a seaside mansion, packs up her life in San Francisco, and moves to Holiday Bay, where she's adopted quite against her will by a huge Maine Coon cat named Rufus, a drifter with her own tragic past named Georgia, and a giant dog with an inferiority complex named Ramos. What Abby thought she needed was alone time to heal. What she ended up with was an inn she never knew she wanted, a cat she couldn't seem to convince to leave, and a new family she'd never be able to live without. In book 33, Georgia is not only has a secret only Abby knows about, but she's kidnapped from the kitchen she's using to film her cooking special, and no one knows who took her or where she was taken. Now this one sort of could go either way, either cozy or crime fiction. Yes, spring themed for April 6th. Spring themed. Okay, thank you. So I put it here. So The Man Who Swore He'd Never Go Home Again by David Handler, 16th in the Stuart Hogue mysteries. Stuart Hoagie Hogue always swore that he would never return to Oakmont, Connecticut, the small mill town where his family lived for generations. He certainly has no desire to interrupt his high life as the newest great American novelist to revisit the town that hates his family and will only bring back memories of his unhappy childhood. But when his childhood sweetheart phones to say that her mother, Mary McKenna, the librarian who inspired Hoagie's dream to be a writer, has died, Hoagie knows he has to return for her funeral, especially when Maggie adds that her mother didn't die of natural causes. Who would want to murder a beloved Milltown librarian? Determined to pay his respects to one of the few people in his hometown he truly cared for, Hoagie hops in his Jaguar and heads to Oakmont with his new girlfriend, Marilee, and even newer Basset Hound puppy, Lulu, in tow. The town where his family's brass mill once thrived is now a toxic, lead-poisoned ghost town filled with illegal drugs, broken families, violence, bitterness, and resentment. Hoagie is surprised to discover former classmate and bullying target Pete Schlosky has become the state police resident trooper. But while Pete seems to have forgiven his past tormentors, he doesn't have any ideas as to which of them might be a killer. Hoagie, on the other hand, has learned plenty about the art of investigation from the hours spent in the library, and his 4-month-old puppy shows a surprising knack for tracking down clues. A puppy. Quilt City, Safety Second, a Hadley Carroll mystery, 5th in that series. And it's Sarah's channel tonight. Okay. Yes, no murdering a beloved librarian. Absolutely. In this fifth installment, Hadley consoles her friend and fellow quilter Dakota after the defense attorney is injured and a bystander is killed in front of Dakota's law office in Paducah, Kentucky, the quilt capital of the world. Hadley and her staff at the Paducah Pulse newspaper must report on the murder, but a severe ice storm renders investigation impossible when power lines collapse and cell towers freeze. She hunkers with her friends and staff in the Pulse office after the governor issues a shelter-in-place order. As the mayor, Hadley has her hands full trying to coordinate rescue efforts, organize building repairs, and oversee debris removal. Then, a building collapses, a family crisis arises, and additional crimes further frazzle her psyche, forcing Hadley to buck up and rally her troops, determined to convict the perpetrators of multiple crimes, all while planning her wedding. Well, I think her wedding could probably go to the back burner. Just saying. Sweets and Spellcasts by Kat McGee, 12th in the Witches of Willow Hollow series. Harper Date is thrilled to introduce magical ice cream to the menu at the Taste of Magic Bakery, but her sweet plans take a frosty turn when the spellcasting ice cream maker is found dead, encased in a block of frozen cream. Suddenly, her delightful dessert venture turns into a mystery messier than a triple scoop sundae on a summer day. With Knox lapping up cream as if it's going out of style, Harper dives spoon first into an investigation as unpredictable as a surprise brain freeze. Crank Cranston, the ever enigmatic drinking game wizard, mechanic, and Harper's partner in both baking and sleuthing, is by her side, lending his magical expertise. But even his tinkering can't prevent the enchanted ice cream from triggering wild spellcasting events all over town. And on. End of row 2. Dying for a Slice. Oh, this would have been good for Friday on Pie Day. First, in the Sassafras Springs Cozy Mysteries, this is by Ginger Cole. In the heart of Sassafras Springs, where every day smells like pie and resonates with Southern charm, life at Vi's Pies and Bakery is as sweet as it gets for Poppy Iverson. However, when the town's tranquility is disrupted by a dash of murder, the cozy world of baking transforms into a mystery. When sweet and sassy Velma is accused of a crime she didn't commit, Poppy, along with her spirited Aunt Vi and her quick-talking friend Isabel, finds herself knee-deep in a mystery that carries more intrigue than the scent of apple pie. Does apple pie smell like intrigue? I don't think so. The Route 66 Misfits by C.C. James, first in a new series. The famed Clara Fitzwater, best friend with Janice Thornberry from the Secret Library Cozy Mysteries, is trading in her stage lights for detective work. Late one night, she gets an urgent call from her niece Jane, who's not just been mugged, but is also upstaging the local drama scene with her unexpected starring role as the prime suspect. With Jane's future hanging by a thread thinner than the script she's writing in jail, Clara and her actor friend Archie dive into the investigation. Archie, sitcom extraordinaire, is more used to delivering punchlines than solving crimes, but he brings his comedic timing to the case, much to Clara's chagrin. Together, they navigate through the mystery to find who framed Jane. Never Bored Part 3 by Sam Cheever. I inherited the business from my Grams and had no experience running a boarding house. When I stepped in, there's no question I've had my hands full. Fractious boarders, broken appliances, leaky roofs, and a very distracting next-door neighbor who makes my engine rev. Oops, did I say that last thing out loud? The best thing I can do for myself is to stay away from Jack Walters. He has a tendency to cloud my thoughts and turn me into a babbling idiot. Forget I mentioned him. I mean, the real problem is the dead body my plucky little blonde dachshund Iris found in the flower beds. No amount of training would have prepared me for that. Also, did I mention the sexy next door neighbor used to be a cop before starting his own security company? Yeah, under the circumstances, staying away from him is going to be a challenge. In fact, it might be nigh on impossible. Oh, darn. Mona Afton Can So Solve a Murder by Bellamy Rose. Intrigue for my taste buds, maybe, but not much else. Yeah. When Pomona Afton, Upper East Side hotel heiress, stumbles out of a gala and upon the scene of her grandmother's murder, her first thought is that the society queen won't be missed for her kind cookie baking ways. In fact, she was mean, greedy, and paranoid, so paranoid that she secretly slipped a clause into her will mandating that should she die an unnatural death, all the family assets get frozen, and if the unnatural death isn't explained, those accounts stay frozen. Practically overnight, Pomona is locked out of her penthouse with no other option than to move in with a roommate, Gabe, the irritable yet handsome son of her former nanny. Not only is his apartment cramped, but it doesn't even have a doorman or a chef. Pom needs someone to solve this murder like yesterday so she can get her trust fund back. She sounds like a delight. And Gabe, he needs this murder solved because that's the only way his mother, who toiled for the Afton family for years, will ever get the retirement money she deserves. As Pom's family clams up, blocking the police at every turn, Pom quickly realizes that if she wants her glamorous life back, she's going to have to put on her big girl Manolos and do it herself, with the help of Gabe, who she's falling for more and more by the day. End of that row. Now this one you got to see the cover. I mean, porn star Matt mustache. That's a porn stash. When this is Murder She Glamped by April Nunn Coker. When Mamie West accepts the temporary job of managing Hayden's resort campground office and store, she's excited. Not only will she be back in Magnolia Bluff, but also closer to Officer Nick Vandigan. But soon after she gets her vintage camper set up and her dog Stella settled in, a body is discovered in one of the RVs. While police scramble to track down a suspect, another woman is murdered, leaving a little dog homeless and other campers fearful. Meanwhile, a motorcycle rally gathers at the resort and a little girl's hedgehog gets loose, not once, but twice, with Mamie ending up caring for it. Is a Mexican cartel responsible for the murders? Can Nick keep Mamie safe? Will she survive another kidnapping? This is book number 34. Oh my. Have a good day, Elena. And happy St. Patrick's Day, she says. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you, sweetie. Mystic Betrayal by Stephanie Demore, sixth in the Isle of Enchantment Mysteries. When a retired high school history teacher is found dead clutching a treasure map, Celeste Witch Iona Vale and her now official boyfriend, Kai Marinos, dive into a case as murky as the water surrounding their island home. Mr. Crummungeon had a knack for storytelling, but it seems one of his tales, a legend of a sunken ship and lost treasure, held secrets someone was willing to kill for. With Spark's enthusiasm lighting the way and occasionally causing mayhem, Iona and Kai must unravel the mystery buried in the past before the tides wash away the clues. As their relationship takes a new turn, so do the dangers, both magical and mortal, that threaten to pull them under. Can Iona navigate the stormy waters of love and murder, or will this treasure hunt prove to be their undoing? An Extremely Unlikely Death by Hannah Hendy, sixth in the Dinner Lady Detectives. During a routine welfare check, the police find local shop owner Mr. Fitzgerald at the foot of his stairs, dead. There is broken glass over the floor of his shop. His dog has been locked in the kitchenette cupboard, and on the counter is an envelope addressed to Mrs. and Mrs. Marjorie and Clementine Butcher Baker, the dinner lady detectives. As the town mourns Mr. Fitzgerald's death as an unfortunate accident, Marjorie and Clementine cannot shake the sense that there is something suspicious about the scene. They are convinced this was no accident, but why would anybody want to harm an elderly shopkeeper? And with the culprit still at large and determined to cover their tracks, they get to the bottom of the case before there's another victim? Sorry about that. That seemed to like stick in my tongue. Time for one more. The Lady and the Texas Ranger by Brittany E. Brinegar. Mineral Wells, Texas, 1925. Lady Anne Worthington, an English heiress and ingenious inventor, returns to Mineral Wells determined to build a future on her own terms, secure investors, and lasso a Texas Ranger. But when the body of a missing Pinkerton agent is discovered and hastily ruled an accident, Lady Anne isn't convinced. The victim had a penchant for blackmail, a ledger filled with dangerous secrets, and more than a few enemies in the small town. As tensions rise, it's clear someone will do anything to keep those secrets buried. With the sheriff refusing to investigate and a killer willing to strike again, Lady Anne joins forces with Ranger Ty Stefanelli. As their partnership deepens, so do the risks, both to the case and her heart. Anne must rely on her sharp mind, her inventions, and her own resilience to uncover the truth. But with a killer watching her every move, can she find justice, or will she become the next name marked for death in the blackmail ledger? And that is all we have time for today. We'll finish up as the week goes on. And Mary says bye to Elena and have a great day. Kim says have a great day. Lazy Monday for me. That sounds fantastic. Mary, thanks so much. I hope everyone has a great day and hope to see you tomorrow morning, God willing, and the creek don't rise. Absolutely. And Mary, I believe Randy is back today if you are tuning in there. We'll see how my morning goes. All right, everybody. Happy St. Patrick's Day. As I say, it is my favorite holiday. That's about it. Tomorrow we'll be looking at crime fiction and thrillers. And as Kim mentioned, I don't have sprints tonight, but they are on Sarah's channel if you want to do some sprinting tonight. My next sprints are tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. Eastern. All right, everybody, have a good day. And as the banner says here, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Nom nom nom. Have a good day and God bless.